Now, a lot of times it's tough. I mean, doing a webcomic, especially a weekly webcomic, is not an easy thing. And I think it's more so difficult for a lot of people to do collaborative webcomics, where you have a team like this that has to come together every 7 days and produce a product that the world's going to see on a schedule. How has it been for you guys, and how do you organize getting this to the web every Wednesday?
We organize?
Mostly panic, I think.
Yeah. Pretty much.
We panic ourselves into success.
I just emailed Chad going, where's the strip?
I know I scare Eric a lot because I typically letter the thing like at midnight the night before it's supposed to go live.
So you guys don't work with a buffer?
Of course.
No, we work on that all the time.
It's a theoretical buffer. I try to get something done by Fridays every week, and then early on I was able to get 4 or 5 strips ahead, but then I just kind of got a little lazy on that part, and so now I work at about 1 a week, and sometimes, as it is, Eric will be sending me an email on Saturday going, I don't think we've got a strip yet.
Yeah. Typically Lisa colors it on Tuesday, and I'll letter it Tuesday night, and it goes live Wednesday morning.
Though I think when it comes to talking about an actual like buffer, I think script-wise, maybe 2 months after we had started, we probably had, I want to say at least maybe like around
104.
Yeah, 104 scripts already.
So the writing part's the easiest part. So we're the slackers. These are the hard worker people right here.
Yeah.
These 3 right here. Me and Eric were just like, draw this, color this, letter this, and
Now.
one day we might be able to sign you a check. I don't know. But it's just
So it goes from the writing team to Chad,
To me.
and then from Chad to, is it a,
Well,
Elise?
Chad,
I have to decipher the code. Because sometimes I'll be given panel descriptions, sometimes I'll be just given bits of dialogue and be going, okay, where's the panels? What do I know?
what's in the background.
basically that's all Bill. When he gets scripts like that, Bill likes to leave the panels out. He just likes to write the dialogue.
I did not know this. I have to pay attention to that more.
Like Chad will ask me something, and I'll be like, "Oh, that was Bill."
And this is how New Comic Day ended. No. So, and then Brant, your cleanup crew, right? You're the last guy before it goes out the door.
Yep.
Cool.
So, yeah. And sometimes I don't get the right script, and I'm freaking out. Like I said, I letter it Tuesday night, and it goes live Wednesday, so I'm like, who's up? Who's up?
Now, how many strips? How many strips today for the series?
62.
Yeah.
62 or
62. And you have never missed a week, correct?
Never missed
Never missed a week.
We
purpose,
had the
on purpose.
intentional delay of the day for the April Fool's joke.
Yeah, the April Fool's one.
Yeah.
So,
in that regard, we're very fortunate that somebody was looking out for us when the team came together, because there's a couple people on the team that weren't the original choices, but Chad coming on board as the original artist was one of the best things that could have happened to the strip. He has such a strong work ethic and a sense of professionalism about him that's been very beneficial. Same with Brant, same with Lisa. Getting these people involved is incredible.
Right.
Eric and I brainstormed for about 6 days and came up with way too much material. It was like, we need to put the brakes on. Luckily, we found somebody that was eager enough to get involved and buy into it. So.
awesome. Now, Chad, it has a distinctive look. How did you kind of come up with the look of a New Comic Book Day?
Well, sometimes I like to try to fashion myself as an artist, but it's funny, I've actually devolved as an artist since like in high school. You can look at some of my stuff I drew in high school and it's actually pretty good. But I noticed over the years I got lazy, so I just embraced it. That's exactly what I did. I went, okay, what can I do for this? I went, how about nothing? Just kind of, just very simple, very round. Just.
You like drawing bellies. I've noticed that. Everybody has the girth in the series.
Well, if you check out one of the copies, you'll see I'll have a how to draw section of it, and you'll see how I craft the characters. It all starts with circles or squares and things like that. And yeah, I try to exaggerate certain features. Now, when I got the everything, everybody just sent me a headshot, so I really had no idea.
Right.
And I had to make the two characters fairly comparable. And I knew Bill was a fairly big guy. You
Yeah.
know.
So it's my fault. I was the model and everybody.
You drew the audience out. Yeah.
Now,
But
with
I
me-
do notice there is one person who's thin in this.
Yes, with a big giant nose.
That's awesome. No, it gives it a feel, it gives it a look, and it definitely causes it to stand out. And I think I compliment you on the style because there is now a new new comic day style that I think is visually
That actually took a
recognizable.
few weeks to happen as well, too. If you notice, if you go back to some of the older ones, people have changed over
Sure.
the course of probably a couple months. You start to see this, you know, in the book you'll see it, that there's a very distinct change that starts to happen.
Right.
I actually simplified the style even more as I went along.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, it's kind of like if you remember the early Charles Schultz Peanut stuff. You know, it had a different style at first, and then it progressed into what everybody's familiar with. So it's kind of what happened here. It kind of evolved into its own thing.
This is the first strip.
Very first strip.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm wearing what's referred to in the strip as the porno Manchu. And later on, I lose that, but Chad's eager to draw it back into the thing.
I want to get it back.
So,
That's
And if you
awesome.
look-
Especially
This-
now that he has it.
yeah, I
Looks
did
like-
actually shave it off in real life for a while, and that's when I went ahead and mentioned it in the strip, but it's been back for a while. So,
Right. Now,
and Chris Mesker's here. I want to point to Chris Mesker that I am Captain America.
Just because you draw the man's truth.
Now, Lisa, if everybody will look at the cover, you will notice there is just amazing. First of all, it's a drop dead gorgeous cover in terms of art, but also if you look at some of the shading and the creativity that goes into the color palette that's brought to this comic, there is a style here, which is also. Is this a typical style for you, or have you developed some kind of techniques specific to the series?
Well, the cover is a little bit different style, more shaky. If you look inside, it's more animation-ish,
Uh-huh.
and that's what I usually do. The
Yeah.
harder shadows. But we decided to do something a little different for the cover.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, it's just striking, and the art draws a lot, but also you have to look at that color too, because it just brings the vibrancy of that whole cover out. It's amazing.
I had the honor to actually watch Lisa color this online one night, and it was amazing. She colored, when I watched her, she colored the Hawkeye Eric, the Wolverine Eric, the She-Hulk Eric, and it was just amazing to see it go from black and white to color. It's incredible.
Yeah.
If you attend the auction later, you can actually buy the original inked version of this. That I put that in the auction for later on.
Wow. Okay. I know
Well,
we're going to be
it's a
later
bit
today. So, Brant, typical lettering day, or do you bring? Is there a?
There's a little bit different style to it. You know, I try to make it funner with like any sound effects, or you know, I try with the webcomic. I want to keep the lettering out of the way of the characters as much as possible. So I usually cut it off at the borders and everything. And, you know, just, I don't know. Just have fun with it.
Yeah, it's definitely
And to point out something that Brant had done for the book, he re-lettered every strip for this book. I mean, originally we had another letterer. He quit like after the second one. Lisa came on and she lettered the bulk of the first year. But when Brant came onto the team, he went ahead and re-lettered everything. So when we did the book, it all had the same look and feel.
That's great.
He didn't quit, he had to leave.
Well, yeah, he
Because
left,
he
quit.
lost his copy of Photoshop.
He quit. No,
Listen,
yeah.
I want to intimidate that man. If you've seen
He looks
Liam
mean.
Bradley's picture,
Yeah, he looks mean.
I mean,
He
he
looks
may live in another country, but
He looks like he
I'm gonna
just
mess
choked
with that
somebody to
guy.
death in his avatar. I'm not.
Hi, Liam. So, now, writing-wise, there is, the humor is top-notch. I mean, every week there is, I've had some that I've actually brought tears to my eyes because they're so funny. It's a genre. It is what we all know. It is what we all love. How hard, I mean, you cranked out all those strips in the beginning. Now that you're coming back to writing again, how has that transition been? Do you feel you have a lot of juice for what's coming?
When we first started writing, like there are strips where there are strips in maybe like the first 30 where it's just either Bill and I just writing. But after that point, we started relooking at old strips, adding to each other's lines, and just tightening things up as much as possible. And I know from pacing wise, I know like jokes like in the Grand Theft Batmobile arc, the whole ejection seat line. I know many people didn't get that, but that came back to a callback at the very end of the strip. But Bill?
Like he mentioned, we did write individually at first. Typically nowadays, it could be something that Eric writes and I alter the first 2 frames, or I write, he says, let's tweak the dialogue. Writing's really, really easy for me. I mean, I just write all the time. But sometimes it's not the right feel. It needs somebody else to look at and make it that, what we're looking for, to get that right punch. Chad gets involved with that a lot too. He throws in so much subliminal stuff just in the artwork, that like the life-size Celestial Hero clicks.
That was awesome.
That was incredible.
That's one of my favorite moments of the series, quite honestly. That one just blew me away.
So a couple weeks ago, the Green Arrow Hawkeye argument, the way it ended, that was last minute out of nowhere. Chad going, okay. Ron left a comment, and Chad decided to re-add Ron as that kind of recurring nemesis of Bill and I's after everything we've put the man through.
So Ron has earned his place as the arch nemesis that will probably reoccur quite often now.
If you read the strip in the program, you'll see him.
There is a new Comic Day strip in the program, so
which is colored inside the flash.
yes.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. Like he was saying, Chad offers a lot. You know, sometimes Lisa and I will throw stuff in. Sometimes when I'm lettering, I'll edit stuff to fit better and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a really team effort.
It's kind of Eric has a lot of the cerebral humor, I'll say. Bill brings it in and has a lot of gimmicky humor, and then with the art, I'll try to throw in some slapstick. That's kind of how it works, I think, and it all seems to work pretty well every now and then. When it depends on which way you veer on that spectrum, but
Sure.
because you'll notice that sometimes it could go either way.
Right.
We're developing, and this one once again was Chad's idea, a possibility of a new Comic Day rogue gallery of reoccurring characters, which Ron Fortier is one. The Goku clan that beats up Eric was going to the guy named Germ that also pops up in this, old ghost hunting buddy of mine. You know, there's going to be some people that do constantly reoccur in this a little bit. Cha-Ching,
Yes.
Cha-Ching the monkey.
John Wilson's
Maybe
character.
Chuck Solo, you know. we
Yeah,
still
Chuck
gotta
Solo.
revisit him.
Now, I know we're focused on New Comic Book Day, but I do want to just take a couple seconds and let everyone know, certainly, that this is not, for any of you, your first comic project. And can we just go down the panel? We'll start with Lisa this time. And just real quickly, just let everybody know what else you've done in the world of comics, or that you have properties that are coming.
Right now I color Dinah Girl for Red Handed Studios, and it's a webcomic that you can read online for free. And also Spy 16 is going on right now. Those are things right now.
And you do flat work. You do a tremendous amount of flat work
I do a lot of flying.
for a lot of very well-known mainstream companies. And I don't know how much I can say about that, so I'll just leave it at that.
Say anything.
I mean, Lisa does flat work on Incredible Hulk for Hulk for Marvel. So I mean, she has a strong history in the community, and we celebrate that. She's incredible at what she does. So, Brant.
Well, my own series, Wannabes, is what I write. And, you know, I mainly do a lot of lettering, and I've helped Lisa out with some flatting. I'm lettering Spy 16, which she mentioned. Just various stuff to take me forever to list everything I've lettered. But, yeah, right now.
Grant has lettered for Image Comics, so
yeah,
yes.
Lettered a couple
absolutely.
titles for Image, and upcoming one for IDW. And, you know, right now I'm lettering a huge graphic novel project called Black Paul for an indie creator.
Cool. Eric has an upcoming project.
Yes, with I'm working with Studio Akumikaze and Jacob Newell on my long worked series, a series that has literally been with me since I was in its earliest stages, since I was in 7th grade, which obviously long time ago now. But and it's called The Hunter Chronicles, and it's hopefully will be out some point towards the end of 2011 at least. Maybe the first issue will be some point in the middle of 2011, depending on how long it is, but it's been a long time coming, and I'm excited to finally have an artist attached to be working on it.
Bill, we only have like an hour for you to list all your. No.
Yeah, listen, Mr. Miller.
I do have a lot of things in the work. It's been like a 3-year plan. Chuck's known me for about the duration of that 3 years. I started out, I wanted to get some stuff out through a place called Zone Trooper. That didn't work out, so I fell behind on plans, and now I'm back where I wanted to be.
Gangbusters.
So I'm fortunate enough to be tied up with a great, incredible group of people called Twilight Star. A lot of my stuff is coming out through Twilight Star. They have a table right outside. Several different anthology books, superhero books, supernatural books, detective stories through Airship 27, which Ron Fortier's the publisher of that. He's downstairs. So got a lot of things going on. Even 2 more webcomics coming. One's coming to Comic Related real soon called Price for the Asking. Another one will be coming out on the Twilight Star website, which is going to launch hopefully in October. So, a lot of different things.
And we will be collaborating to help you promote and point to that and all kinds of things.
Awesome.
Everything we'll cover everything you do.
Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate all the help.
Actually, this kind of is my first thing that I've done.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Hero.
This probably started before that.
Really? I didn't know
Well,
that.
I was
Okay.
kind of in the concept stage and kind of developing
Okay.
stuff at the time. But yeah, this probably started first. This was, it, mostly I'm here thanks to, Dusty drugged me into this. And I drew, Dusty had written a story called Mouthful of Spiders, and he needed an artist attached to it. So he contacts Bill and says, hey, I may know a guy that might be interested in doing this. And Bill's like, well, I need to see his artwork first. And so I think I sent you something to do, some kind of Spider-Man thing that I did, I think.
Yes. There's some dudes in the hallway with guns.
Yeah, and so Bill was like, oh yeah, definitely. So I drew this thing for Dusty, and then from there I kind of got hooked, and that's what led Bill to ask me to do for this. During the process, I started working on, did Somebody Call for a Hero, so I have those books now that I'm working on. I just kind of throw myself at all kinds of different stuff. I'm trying to work on I guess you call it an online novel right now on my website at chadstroll.com called Rings. I have a up in the air project with Ron's Airship 27. Potentially, if I ever get around to doing it, it'll be a King Arthur novel.
Awesome.
What else? Oh, I got a martial arts kind of story training manual that I'm working on right at the moment. I'm about 4 or 5 pages into that I'm just trying to get developed and moving along. Because I've been in martial arts now for about 20 years, so it just feels like it's time to. I'll never be teaching, so it's time to start like trying to find some way to give back a little bit for the training. And I thought, what better way than a superhero book? Everybody sees Batman running around and Daredevil and doing all that. Well, what about real stuff? Because nobody's going to be doing those kind of backflips. But if you can get to kids in that kind of way, then maybe they'll kind of pique their curiosity a little bit.
Sure.
'Cause even the Power Rangers, I mean, it created a big influx, but it was fake. It was fake markets that attracted them. What about real heroes?
Awesome. So a talented group. We don't, I think it's 11:30 is when we're to,
Yeah.
okay. We don't have a lot of time, but Eric, can you please, or any of you, but I think Eric knows the most about this, talk a little bit about the award that this strip has won earlier this year.
The Outhousers.com, which is a forum that I visit regularly ever since Newsarama decided to update and pretty much destroy their online community. Thank you. That's a bad word. But the Outhousers.com is a site similar to Comic Related that is filled with a whole bunch of comic book fans, and good friend Lee. I'm probably gonna get Lee's name wrong. Lee. I'm not even gonna. I'm blanking on his last name.
Blanking on it.
Yeah. He nominated us for the first ever Outhouse Awards, and we won the best webcomic award after much hey, vote for us by me and other people. But no, it's a community I've been around in for forever, and just for them to for us to get the award and for people to vote for us in the first place was awesome.
Yeah, it's fan-driven awards, and you won it, and there was competition. It wasn't like
Yeah, it was
wasn't
like,
like you were the only one
against
listed.
like we were against like Scott Kurtz and like
Yeah.
I think it was PvP and I think maybe anyone else remember
Peanut
who
Gallery?
else
Was
is-
it Peanut Gallery? Something like that.
I don't
I don't
remember. There was
remember the
some
others.
heavy names, but,
But
yeah.
just Scott Kurtz being like head to head with something like PvP was just.
Awesome.
I think the least I could do, you know, or looking for group the fair production guys. I think we were against them too and others, but it was tough competition, just
Yeah.
surprising.
Exciting stuff. It was a great one, definitely. Anybody have any questions for the group?
What is the name of your website that you have?
The name. They're asking about the name of New Comic Day.
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
Oh, okay.
It appears weekly on a website called Comic Related. Also.
Well,
And now it also,
just this week we launched the website newcomicday.net.
Yeah.
So you can check it out there.
Absolutely.
It's got the complete archive.
And the name comes from, you know, Wednesday. It airs on Comic Related at newcomicday.net every Wednesday. It's the same as like getting your new comics on New Comic Day. So
Okay.
and it's a strip that is centered around comic culture and
It's a lot of parody,
a lot of parody, a lot of things.
I picked that up from, I heard something about like
Yeah, mix
Yeah,
of
it's
culture.
really heavily geek culture is pretty much what is focused on at the.
If you love comics, you're gonna love the strip,
Well, Eric calls it Looney Tunes meets Clerks. So
and that's pretty
appropriate.
pretty appropriate.
Yeah, it's really.
Oh, we cover a nice age group too, so
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can
What are you
kind
trying
of
to say?
hit.
Yeah,
I'm second down that list. I think. So,
Any other questions? Anybody? So where's the strip headed? Where's next?
Year two.
This
Second season? Any teases for?
this week's upcoming strip is Eric gets onto that rooftop, but you don't know exactly why or what he's up to, and why it may or may not be driving him crazy. As well as we have something coming up that I'm just going to tease as without giving the joke away completely. Rainbow Hulks.
Rainbow Hulk.
Well, in the book, you'll see a Star Wars.
Strips. Yeah.
Star Wars. I don't know.
Arc.
Yeah, Arc. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
what I was looking for. Star Wars Arc. There's the, like you mentioned, the Grand Theft Batmobile, different stuff like that. The Goku thing is in there.
One
We
of the
have-
creators really doesn't like Deadpool, so there's a lot of anti-Deadpool.
and, there's a lot of extras in the book that didn't appear on the site. So.
Yeah.
There's a lot of extras. And actually, as soon as this panel is over, we are going to be filming 2 live-action New Comic Day skits in the Wittenberg Commons, which will air on UBN and
Awesome.
Comic Related.
Awesome.
I get to hit Eric with the Cosmic Cube.
The
Just
book
gonna go make this disappear.
The book is on sale. It collects all the strips plus extras, has creator commentary in it.
Yep.
Debuting at Champion City Comic Con, will be available in other outlets in the very near future.
Yep.
But we wanted-
Starting Monday, we will have the link up to where people can order it online.
yes.
How many extra strips do we have now?
There's
a good
8.
bit.
There's 8.
Is it
I
8
believe
extra?
is what the final count was.
So
Yeah, there's some written by Chad. Lisa wrote one. I wrote a couple.
We are the KISS of webcomics. Everybody up here can write and draw almost, so there's stuff on here that, except for Eric can't draw.
Oh,
So, there's stuff written by Lisa, stuff written by Chad, stuff drawn by me, stuff drawn by Brant. We just threw it against the wall to see what stuck, and it turned out pretty decent. So
Well, I want to thank you guys for making my Wednesday much more entertaining, and I look forward to a great future and issue number 2 and much, much more. So, if we can get just a round of applause for the team. Thank you guys.
thank you, Chuck. Thank you. There will be no New Comic Day without this man right here. Thank you very much. Chuck Moore, everybody.
Thank you.